see things, meet new people? Try exclusive Greyhound Scenic Cruiser service. Lean back in air-conditioned comfort. Enjoy picture windows that let you see the sights close up. Over here, a fully equipped restroom. Whoops. Greyhound Scenic Cruiser service is people too. Young people, younger people, and the young at heart. Only Greyhound has Scenic Cruiser service. Try it. You'll love it.
Oh, Greyhound, and leave the driving to us. Oh, Greyhound,
and leave the driving to us.
Hello, and welcome to my newest video, where I'll be taking this Greyhound bus from shabby to still shabby but with different paint, and I'm hoping to take it apart, polish it, etc. I'd already stripped the paint and I'd opened it up, stripped the paint and basically swap parts off a super fast version I got to make one complete bus with undamaged parts. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Here we're looking at the full bus as I split it open, and as we split it open from the two small very fine posts, we have a blue suspension unit, the white seating moulded area, the orange glazing unit coming out there, and it's a very basic model but very nicely modelled for the era it was modelled in. Fairly detailed interior, and it looked really nice when you bought them new. Next, we're starting polishing the glazing unit. I'm using my mini Dremel with some silver water sol polish, and it gets rid of small scratches. There's nothing huge in this one, so it's not really required being brutal and sandy. So just give it a quick polish with a buffing wheel. And here is the glazing unit after polishing. It's come up quite nice and happy and acceptable results really. Here we see the seating unit after scrubbing the sink with soap and a toothbrush. And also I had a spare bus that was in bad condition, luckily enough, because I snapped the steering wheel at my first attempt. And here I'm going to be using my more brutal of my two Dremels for polishing the axle domes and the axles. Just put it in the chuck and give it a good spin round and it polishes it. Used to do it with bolts and things when I was engineering with my friend in his garage for stuff we used to build and sell. But there we are, looks quite a bit cleaner. Next up, I'm using some of my wire wool to give the bodywork a quick scrub up and polish up to make it, just get rid of bits of oxidisation, dirt, and prepare it for being sprayed. Looks a lot prettier and cleans it up. Next up, we're seeing the starting of the spraying progress. I'm just spraying on a coat of, I'm using Humbrol silver there at the moment, and later I'm going to clear coat it. And here we have the start of the decaling process. I'm using black squares decals for the first time, and I've got to admit they're fantastic decals, but Bonehead here didn't check whether they had a carrier film It's a marvellous thing reading instructions, but having said that, the actual carrier film for the decals is so fine. It beds into all the contours absolutely beautiful. I didn't even need to use microsol on it. It just basically, you can just see it on the rear windows there, but it just totally disappeared within seconds really. I can't understate how good the decals are, but extreme caution does need to be taken when you're applying them, because the carrier film is so fine. It must be one of the finest decal carrier films I've ever worked with. But having said that, that's not a bad thing, but if you're new to decals, it could actually give you very long nightmares. Anyway, an intermission of kinds, and this is my latest painting for my Aviation Art Society's competition. The subject being aviation events of 1919 and 1969. And 1969 saw the formation of the Top Gun School at Miramar, whilst also seeing at the same time the acceptance by the US Navy of the F-14 Tomcat as its replacement long-range fighter. If you look just above the contrails off the starboard wing, you can see the control tower that Tom Cruise buzzed in the obvious film, and where the geezer got coffeed. And here we're starting reassembling. We've put the wheels back on the axle and starting to knock the end over so it holds the wheel back on, and only a tiny little vise, but it just does the job. Perfectly adequate for these little matchboxes. And there's the final one going on, so we can have a look at the chassis in a second. And there we go, looking nice with a coat of black paint. And there's the inside with the glass being installed back in. And what I noticed with this model, it's all absolutely beautiful fitting. For the time and the scale and everything, they really did a nice job of this model Lesney. And the suspension unit going back in, I actually bent that back to shape by hand without heating it, although I've got to admit I was flinching when I was doing it just in case I snapped it, because it's the sort of thing I do. And then back on with the base. I ended up taking it back off again because I then thought, hey up, I forgot the glue, which I've mixed here. Throw the cocktail, said it with my spazzy hands, and mixed up 2 parts Araldite and ready for going on. And I applied it to both the holes on the chassis. There's 2 right at the rear, and I applied some to the inside of the black back bumper where the ledge is, which makes a nice little point for gluing. And here we see the base plate going back on to make it look a nice tidy job. I glued it really because the back posts on the Greyhound buzz, there's absolutely nothing of them. They're very, very thin, and I've tried drilling a couple of them, and the drill's gone off centre and drilled out through the back of the buzz or out through the side. And here we have the final reveal, and looking very smart in its new silver paint with the decals, and it's had a clear coat sprayed over the top to seal everything, and it's looking very pretty now. Quite proud of the results. And next up I think will be a VW Beetle, and there's a special little addition at the back end of this one. I've put some still photos so more detail can be made out. See all my blatantly obvious errors, but here we come on to stills now. And one front quarter, another front quarter, another front quarter from other side, rear quarter, and rear quarter from the other side, and also the base plate. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed watching, please click subscribe, and even better, click the bell for notifications. Thank you, and see you in your next video. Tatty pie.